Salute to the boss when you come across a certified G like me. For the game I be MVP. Nobody V-ball like me.
Easy to flex is a must. And of course, you know everything's on me. Everywhere I be VIP. Nobody can do it like me.
When you don't send nobody. When you insurance cover me. Me no send nobody. When you insurance cover me.
Get covered with life insurance from Stanbic IBTC Insurance. Visit stanbicibtcinsurance.com to learn more. Stanbic IBTC, a member of Standard Bank Group.
Stanbic IBTC Insurance, baby. Insurance cover me.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stanbic IBTC's cybersecurity webinar. I must say thank you so much to everyone who has invested their time with us today. So my name is Toby Ayeni of Misteki Media, and our topic of discussion for today is how secure are you online? I mean, with the growing use of the internet, you can all agree with me that a lot of people are now more prone to hackers. They're now more prone to, frauds online. So in my opinion, this is such a very important topic, especially in this day and age where scammers are now better at their craft. By the way, after the presentation sessions, we'll be having a Q&A session. So I implore everyone to please drop any questions you might have regarding the topic of the day. Sounds good? Great. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. And on that note, let's get started with our first agenda of the day. We'll be having a welcome speech from Mr. Abumere Igboa. He is the Chief Information Security Officer at Stanbic IBTC Bank PLC.
All right. Good afternoon, esteemed ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Ms. Teki also. It's with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this webinar. And on behalf of the entire staff and management at Stanbic IBTC, we appreciate you for joining us on this virtual session. We recognize the importance of online safety, and as an organization that puts its clients first, we organized this webinar titled, How Secure Are You Online? The internet has transformed the way we communicate and exist as humans. It has also simplified the ways we live our daily lives. Virtually everything is possible on the internet today. from connecting with friends and family to getting new businesses, carrying out financial transactions, establishing new connections, and also learning. However, utilizing the internet also exposes us to the dangers inherent in it, as fraudsters and hackers are always seeking innovative ways to exploit people online. Unfortunately, incidents of cyber fraud affect our social society economically, socially, and have caused victims exposed to this crime the loss of valuables, and in extreme cases, their life savings. This webinar has been organized to bring these issues to light with a focus on promoting security awareness when transacting online and on multiple platforms, also including social media. As an innovation-driven institution, we will showcase certain steps taken by Stanbic IBTC to protect its customers on its transactional platforms, and steps also taken that are required to shield yourself from cyber criminals. This session promises to be an enlightening and engaging one, and I encourage you to grasp the salient points that will be discussed during the course of the webinar. You are welcome to ask questions on cybersecurity as our speaker will provide answers to any inquiries on the subject matter. I once again encourage you to learn all you can and continue to always protect yourself online. Thank you again for joining us and do enjoy the session.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abumere, for that warm welcome. And I must actually commend how Stanbic IBTC is playing an active role in protecting the safety of their customers. Now, for those who are just joining us, a big welcome to you. And our goal for today is to ensure that we drive home the importance of being security conscious and cyber smart. Now, I don't know how many of you have seen a particular video online where a woman was crying profusely because our account got hacked of 2 million naira, just like that. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that video in one way or the other. So this is such a timely topic, and I hope everyone, including myself, will be able to, glean so much from the conversation we'll be having today. Now, with that said, I'm going to invite our speaker is Abayomi Oluwole, the head information security at Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers Limited. Thank you so much, Mr. Abayomi, for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Ms. Teki, and thanks for the introduction. Greetings to our distinguished audience, and thank you for joining the Stanbic IBTC cybersecurity webinar themed How Secure Are You Online? While most of the cybersecurity news articles we receive are mostly around system compromise, data breaches, account hijack, trust me, it can seem really overwhelming, and it feels like we are powerless against it. So this afternoon, I bring to you the good news and the bad news. Which of them would you like to hear first? I suppose the good news. So I will start on a good note. The good news is that I am here to remind you that everyone can be safe online and keep our data protected by practicing basic cybersecurity hygienes. And the bad news is that there isn't a bad news today. The objective of this session is to create awareness on how to be secure online. It is important for us to adopt this partnership approach. I mean, you have us as your financial service provider because you trust us. And as a trusted partners, we felt that it was critically important for issues like this, that is growing trend. We did not just send you a one-pager email about how to stay safe online, that we actually engage you, have a session like this to know that cyber threats are real and they are just not hypes. I love this slide. So I like this slide because I love the emojis. They resonate various cybersecurity personalities, the online introvert, the online extrovert, the online open, and what I call the online conscious. So which of them are you? Feel free to drop emojis in the chat box, which of personality type you think you have. The online introvert person, hardly online, enjoy the traditional ways of doing things, would rather walk into a bank to get cash than use the mobile banking platforms, or walk into a pension office for a retirement statement, retiree savings account statement, than request this electronically. I mean, they are just not inclined to doing things in a digital manner. Although COVID has forced us to embrace technology like never before. And the online extrovert loves to share trending news, aware on social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I mean, I saw this challenge recently, and there's this guy flying up and down social media, TikTok. I mean, it's good. I mean, but that aside, the love wearables, the love smartwatches, connected device basically, and the know about all this trend, crypto, forex, and all. Then the online open. The online open guys, they only post on need basis. They have presence on social media, hardly active. They use internet only on need basis, maybe to initiate a bank transfer, respond to WhatsApp messages. And finally, the online cautious personality. These people have tendency to verify all information online. They will confirm if it is from a trusted source. They will pick the pulse of all information and take the time to investigate. And truth is, your cyber personality is just as personal as who you are. This is not to tell you to change your personality type. This is just to let you know the risk around being online and have some level of decorum to protect yourself, protect your business, and not only just your business, protect your family. I mean, cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility and it really matters. I hope that at the end of the session, we'll be able to embrace a cybersecurity culture. Like I mentioned today, and this is the question: what is cybersecurity? Like, yeah, today we use internet for almost everything, from the time we wake in the morning to the time we sleep at night. A classical example is when I woke up this morning, I picked up my phone to check my messages. I checked my Google Map for traffic updates. That has become our reality in Lagos. I mean, so like I say to anyone, internet is the greatest invention ever. From online shopping to, monitoring your health with fitness wearables to staying in touch and even seeing content on, social media. And here are some facts. It is interesting to know that there are 5.2 billion Google searches per day. Over 2 billion messages are generated between people every single day. I mean, that's a lot of data. So as much as we have, come to rely on technology as much as internet is the best thing that's happened since the days of Nigerian Jollof, we need to do so with the understanding that it is not risk-free. And that is why our online security and even offline security are important. Security permits everything we do today. It's very important that we understand what data we're providing, where it's traveling, how we want people to use it, how to protect it. I mean, the internet never forgets. As a nurse or doctor, we manage our patients' data and treat them highly confidential. As a farmer in agriculture, we continue to see trends of smart technologies, cyber-based threats that could affect disrupt the food supply chain. And as an employee of an organization, we also need you to interact with your organization internet in a secure manner. So we do not unduly expose ourselves and the organization we work for. So I could go on and on and on and on. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So today, cybercrime is projected to cost the world $10.5 trillion by 2025. I repeat, $10.5 trillion. That is very lucrative, right? If it were to be a country, it will rank number three in the world after the economies of US and China. Trust me, 10.5 trillion expected revenue is enough motivation for the bad guys. And let's talk about some major security events that may have impacted your personal data. I mean, this isn't meant to frighten you, people, or make you worry. This is just, rather to help you understand what type of information you may want to consider protecting. I will give us a minute, to solve the website displayed, https://vibingporn.com, to check whether your personal data has been compromised. You can create database with your email address or phone number. The website is displayed again, https://vibingporn.com. I bet some of us have seen our email addresses and sites on this site now that we have been exposed to breaches. You can drop messages in chat if you can find any compromise or data breach on your account. So if you see your email address there, your phone number there, I strongly recommend that you change that password immediately. if you have seen those details there. I mean, there were over 500 million accounts impacted from breach by Yahoo. This included things like email address, account information, birthday, date, password. If someone could get into your email account, it can use that to launch more, I mean, pivot more information about you and things that are important to you. And let's talk about Facebook as well. There was also a breach on Facebook, over 50 million profiles involved in this event. I don't know about you, but I don't have 50 million friends. This event has made all of us soft targets and vulnerable to a person with malicious intent. In the past, we called them 419. Now they've gotten double promotion and graduated to online scammers. I mean, they don't even need to interact with you. They can do that at the comfort of their homes in any part of the world where they are located. They have knowledge of these breaches, this email address and password dumps for these breaches actually sold in the dark web for as low as just $1. I mean, so reason we continue to see rises in cases of identity theft, imposters taking accounts, especially if we use the same password across board. And so, yeah, how do we stay secured online? That's the next question I was to ask. Yeah. And I will dwell a little bit more on this slide because it has a lot of jewels. And password hygiene. This is one of the overlooked ways to stay secure online. Using a password like 1234, your date of birth, your wedding anniversary is high risk and can be easily guessed. It sounds weird, right? According to the UK cybersecurity report, over 23 million people use 123456 as their password. So, what is a strong passphrase? A strong passphrase is a sentence that is at least 12 characters that include caps, special characters like dollar, pound, percentages. The longer the password is, the harder it is to break. Make your password hard to guess, but super easy to remember. One thing with password too is to also consider changing them on a routine basis. Another great tool available to you is called two-factor authentication, or sometimes called multi-factor authentication. It is available on our mobile banking platforms, mutual fund pension apps, and some social medias even have that enabled. You can go to LinkedIn, Facebook, and also set them up. You know what this does is it authenticates you with what you already know, which is your password, and which can be easily compromised. But it also authenticates you with what you have, which could be your biometric or OTP authorization call to your phone. Taking time to set this up doubles your, I mean, security online. All work and no play makes Abayomi a very dull boy. We like to spend time and connect with friends on social media. You need to limit the personal information you share online as they can be used to profile you and launch more elevated attacks. Be selective with your friend requests. Not everyone you see online is a friend. There are a lot of dummy accounts created online for malicious intents. When I say manage your digital footprints, I mean, please, the internet never forgets. Anything you do on internet is recorded. Let us talk about our mobile devices. Smart gadgets are now integral parts of our lives. Carrying mobile devices these days is like having a second wallet. You may not realize how much data is in your mobile devices. Sending emails, banking online have become ordinary mobile device tasks. Some people mobile device contains information like their NIN, their BVN, their credit card details, saves as contact for easy accessibility. And that is why screen lock is a must. Also enable SIM lock if you can, so that if it gets stolen or falls into the wrong hands, your data can be provided, can be protected, I meant. And this is a privacy tip. Have you ever installed any app and it tries to ask for permission to use your contacts, camera, location, microphone, or any other features of your phone? I mean, some of these apps run in the background and they even listen to you in stealth mode. It is not a coincidence that sometimes you have a chat with someone like, I've been thinking of getting an iPhone, I've been thinking of getting this nice furniture. And the next thing you see is targeted ads about furniture on everything you visit online. You get this targeted ad, it follows you from the one social media platform to shopping platform and everywhere. And let me drop it in a chat. I mean, I would there is a website I can just check at your convenience. It is myactivity.google.com. I kid you not, myactivity.google.com. You can check that later. I kid you not, if it keeps an history of anything you've done on internet, the sites you've visited, even up to your locations. I queried it. I saw things I was doing as far back as when I was in university. The places I visited, the things I've done online. So please, today, not tomorrow, today, take out time to set check the settings on your phone and review your privacy permissions. It is very, very, very important. And yeah, download only trusted apps. Delete unused app on your phone. Do you think these apps are really free? Like you say, free to download? Of course, there has to be something in it for them. There has to be a trade-off. They could even be earning, by reselling your personal information that you have provided voluntarily by accepting their terms and conditions. Some of these untrusted apps are designed to capture your keystrokes and record your mobile activities, like when you're logging into your financial apps. Even though the iOS and Android stores have done, great job in filtering what comes to the store, these malicious apps also find their way through, and they can be downloaded in forms of games or anything on the stores. Our connections. And this, I'll like avoid the use of public Wi-Fi. I mean, it feels good to have access to internet in our hotels, airports, restaurants, and for a fact, this is the selling point for you to for most people to, lodge in hotels. You have a free Wi-Fi. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very risky. It is very risky to use because oftentimes these internet routers use their default settings and haven't been added. Okay, I was in an hotel in a hotel in Benin, some time ago, and they gave me Wi-Fi password as usual. Out of curiosity, I connected to it and check how secure it was. I kid you not. I could query all the devices connected to the Wi-Fi. If I have malicious intent, I could probably jump on the receptionist's computer and give myself some extra days of staying in the hotel. And do not click on unknown links in the body of emails or text messages. This attack type is called phishing for email and smishing for text. Another tip: always pay attention to email received from your financial institution. Islamic IBTC would never ask you for your password, OTP, RSA PIN, card details via information, via phone calls, emails, or pop up. So let me use this analogy so we can, at least relate. If you live in Lagos and you're driving in traffic, you won't put your mobile device on your dashboard and a bale of mint notes I just collected from the bank and put it on the seat, and maybe your phones and your laptop on another seat, and wind down your glasses. It just attracts a lot of attention. Instead, you want to make sure that the doors are locked, the phones are kept where it's secured, not visible to touts. Cybersecurity is the same way. When you go to web, make sure you visit sites that are secured. It is important for us to keep on eyes on the domains we visit, just in case. Look for minor spelling mistakes or other signals, like e.g. stambicibc.com could be mistyped as stanbiclbtc.com. Although for us, we have the right technology, we have the right tools that allows us crawl the internet daily and take down any lookalike domain that may want to impersonate us in order to protect, our customers. Do not do anything transactional on website without the HTTPS. What does that mean? It means hypertext transfer protocol secure. But you don't need to remember all that at all. It's not your business. One thing you need to remember is that the padlock sign. Remember the padlock sign. The padlock sign means on any website you visit, it means that the communication with the site is secured and encrypted. And when you don't see that padlock sign, it means that whatever information you provide on those sites can be intercepted and retrieved in clear text. For example, I visit the shopping site without the HTTPS padlock sign. I input my card information. An attacker or a bad guy can intercept that information and get what I inputted in clear text. But with the padlock sign, it means that it makes it extremely difficult to recompute whatever information I've provided because it is encrypted. This may also seem obvious, but it's really important to make sure we check for updates on our computer and phones. You use your computer or phones every day. Most vendors will send patches for fixes of vulnerabilities in their operating systems. Make sure you have up-to-date version so that the bad actors, can't take advantage of the vulnerability in this asset phone and computers. This is my bonus slide. Yeah, because it's Friday. And on the left, you can see the acronym YOLO. I know a lot of us know what it means. You only live once. Yeah. So cybersecurity is also extending security to our personal lives, protecting our words and kids. I have two adorable daughters, and as a parent, with the knowledge of cybersecurity I have, I'm really worried about their online safety. When I was much younger, my my online security and my security was, parental controls was my parent would tell me, hey, lock the door, do not go out. But right now is different. So sending them to room or locking the doors has no impact in a connected world. In fact, the kids have more friends online than in physical. So we need to take parental controls into our hands. I mean, it is really important to take time to set up well filtering and monitoring on their tablets and gadgets. That makes sure that the young ones don't go to unsafe sites or connect to people that would influence them adversely or unintentionally. We need to keep ourselves up to date with acronyms used by these younger ones to evade us, or I mean to trick us while they are on phone or chatting. So I put a list of acronyms here, like 143, 8, CD9, PAW, TDTM, 420, POS. Yes, POS. POS does not mean point of sale terminal right now. It means parent over shoulder. I mean, it means parents over shoulder. 143 means, I mean, I love you. And 8 means oral sex. CD9 means parents are around me. PAW, parents are watching. KPC, and when you see all those things, I mean, they can be on phone and just hear KPC, keeping parents clueless. With this knowledge and cyber awareness culture, you can make sure that you have a peace of mind needed for both you and your family to be safe online. The real solution to being secured online isn't technology. It is us armed with the right education and awareness that we are empowered to take actions and recognize how to deal with this, I mean, real threats. On a final note, on a final note, with the information you have now, please rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Your, I mean, your knowledge before and knowledge after. You can drop that to the chat section, so I will go through them. I mean, and thank you very much for listening and joining us this afternoon. It's my pleasure.
That was such an amazing session about your me. I really, really learned a lot, especially with the tips that you have shared and the part where you said cybersecurity is everybody's business. So whether you're a Gen Z, you are a millennial or a baby boomer, you are not exempted from being a victim of cyber fraud. So ensure you take all the necessary steps that Abayomi has shared. Some of the tips he has shared for those just joining us is that you have to use a strong password. So don't use your son's name. I remember one time my mom used her middle name as a password on all platforms. So that's a major red flag. Instead, use a unique password, right? You also mentioned that you should stop oversharing online. So in case you're found of, posting your account details online under the guise of, you want to win a giveaway, please refrain from doing that because these scammers can use this information in a bad way. Also, download only trusted applications. So if you use Android or iPhone and you want to download that app, only download applications from the Play Store or the App Store. Don't download and install an app from a fishy website. And speaking of fishy website, I will not forget this. They actually mentioned that always look out for the padlock sign on any website that you're transacting business on, plus other tips he has shared. Once again, thank you so much for that session about Abayomi. So right about now, we are going on a short break but guys, I don't want you to go anywhere because the next session is going to be very insightful, right? I will not spill the tea yet. And after that session, we're going to be having a Q&A. So get all your questions ready and we're going to, have fun right now. So with that said, sit back and enjoy the short clip.
Salute to the boss when you come across a certified G like me. For the game, I be MVP. Nobody be ball like me.
Easy to flex is a must. And of course, everything's on me. Everywhere I be VIP. Nobody can do it like me.
When you no send nobody. When you insurance cover me. When you no send nobody.
Get covered with life insurance from Stanbic IBTC Insurance. Visit stanbicibtcinsurance.com to learn more. Stanbic IBTC, a member of Standard Bank Group.
Stanbic IBTC Insurance, baby.
That was such a beautiful ad. But yeah, right about now, we're going to, have an insightful session where I ask Abayomi, a couple of questions regarding how Stanbic IBTC is ensuring the safety of customers' accounts. So if you own a Stanbic IBTC account, now you have to pay attention to this session. So, Abayomi, my first question to you today is with regards to transacting business online. I don't know about you, but I no longer go to the market to buy stuff because I can get almost everything online. So, in your opinion, what are the safest way to transact business online, and most especially, what red flags must people be cautious about?
Thank you very much, Mr. K. And that's a great question. And oftentimes I get people ask me this too, like, "Hey, bro, how do we transact save online?" I mean, for starters, always look out for that padlock sign. You can never, you would hardly go wrong. I mean, if you shop on website that are trusted, if you want to visit the website, try to type it out if you know the website. Don't just click on a link because it could probably be redirecting you. I mean, to a website that you don't know. And to avoid falling victim of this online transacting online, do not disclose your banking information, password, or other online personal information to anyone, including your bank. I mean, even your telco. So, in addition to using this digital tools carefully, I mean, sometimes I recommend that we use a separate email address for our online banking accounts and a separate email address for our social media accounts, such that one gets compromised. I mean, we don't get unduly exposed across board. And lastly, I'll just say we need to train ourselves to follow our intuitions. I mean, sometimes your mind just tells you something feels wrong. I mean, so in those cases, please just feel free to, I mean, put a call across to, I mean, your bank, your online channels that you want to, I mean, just to validate that. I mean, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much, Mr. K.
Thank you, Abayomi. Now, I think I'm going to be speaking on behalf of a lot of people that also transact business or shop online. Do you think these points that you have mentioned also applies to, buying stuff online, specifically on social media applications like Instagram, for example? Maybe you buy stuff on through an online via an online vendor and you got scammed in the process. So, do you think these red flags also apply to shopping online?
Yeah, I mean the online market has really changed over the years.
Yes.
People just go to Instagram, Facebook, and order for, I mean,
Hmm.
phones, they order for creams, they order for just anything. In fact, small chops and anything. Yeah, and so yeah, so one thing I would say is pay attention to the little details. These people will always come out for you. I mean, to rush you, they will put you under unnecessary duress. So your week, they will tell you that this is the last week we have in stock. If you don't pay by XYZ, you wouldn't be able to get it. This product you want to buy is the only product available. It's not available anywhere in the world. It can take another 6 months to get delivered. So they'll put undue pressure on you. And so those are red flags that you need to watch out for. I mean, and also maybe look at reviews. I mean, look at the reviews. Has there anybody been able to, I mean, really give feedback on this? Or if you maybe say on a social media platform like Instagram, for instance, you see
Yeah.
1.2 million followers and
Yeah.
only three likes, and you went to buy week. Wow, auntie. So let's just pay attention to those little details. And I think that with
Yeah.
that, and follow our intuition, like I always say, with that, we'll be safe online. Share.
Yeah. And to add to what you have said, if the price is too cheap, if the price of a good is too cheap, then it's just too good to be true. They're trying to get latch onto your greed. So if you see an item online and you see that it's ridiculously cheap, then it's most likely going to be a scam. So also pay attention to that. But yeah, my second question, thank you so much for that great answer, by the way. But my second question is what in your experience or as an expert in the financial sector, how would you rate the general cybersecurity landscape in the Nigerian finance industry? So let's just say you want to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, for example.
Thank you again, Miss Techie. And that's a great question. And I mean, you try to put me on the spot. Well, I would say this: cyber risk has contributed largely to the operational risk of financial institutions, both in Nigeria and, I mean, globally. We are seeing increase in the number of sophistication of cybersecurity threats against financial institutions. It has become mandatory, like it's like mandatory for institutions to now increase their cyber resilience capabilities. And you will agree with me that the financial sector is critical for any economy, in any part of the world. But I mean, how are we, I mean, approaching this, and what have we seen? We are seeing increased partnerships with governments, regulators, financial sectors, and people in the capital market. Um, Aside that, there's more collaboration across banks in terms of intelligence sharing and all. But security is not, I mean, it doesn't have an end. It will keep evolving over time. And so, as such, organizations will continually need to, I mean, invest unilaterally in the across their people, across their processes, across their technologies to stay afloat of this, I mean, evolving cybersecurity threats. Thank you very much, Miss Techie, for that question.
Thank you so much, Abayomi. I'll have to say that please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to use the chat button and drop all the questions that you might have, and I'll be asking Abayomi here. Now, our next question is: if a customer feels vulnerable from past experience, maybe they've been scammed in the past and they're scared of transacting online, right? What major measures do you think that the customer can take to ensure that they are safe? I know you mentioned this, but it's still good to speak on it.
Yeah, I think I touched part of it during my presentation. Again, always look for that padlock site. And to avoid victim, one should, I mean, not disclose your online password, your PIN to anyone. So I mean, you have to tread the internet cautiously. I mean, to make sure that you informations or websites, I mean, for me, for instance, I do not just, I mean, click on links. To You don't forward me something on WhatsApp and tell me to click. I'll probably go on internet, search, query the Google database, look for the actual website, and go to the, I mean, website to, I mean, to transact. And in addition to that, I mean, always keep your, I mean, information, I mean, safe. um, the few basic tips that I had shared earlier would address many of these concerns. And if you observe them, I can tell you that, I mean, you can query the internet, you can transact online safe, and there's no reason to, I mean, be, I mean, scared of using the internet for transacting. I mean, it's a good one. It's technology, and we have to embrace it. This is our reality today, and I mean, it has come to stay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abayomi. Now, I think the final question from me before I move to the audience question is the fact that we have several platforms through which Stambik IBTC customers carry out their transactions. So, how does Stambik IBTC ensure that they provide the maximum safety of its customers while using all of these platforms?
Okay, yeah, at Stanbic IBTC, I mean, we pride ourselves in being innovative and technology driven. Um, and the scenario you raised, I mean, impersonation and misrepresentation are problems in the real world and also in the digital world. I mean, so for Stanbic Harris, what we've done in addition to that is, okay, sometimes you see sites like I mentioned earlier, to change the A to the I, the B to the C. But here with us, we've gone forward. We have the right security tools and technology. So every day we crawl the internet every blessed day, and we take down any lookalike domain that looks like ours, such that we can protect our, I mean, customers and people transacting with us, so they don't go to this website to, I mean, supply informations that, I mean, that are highly confidential. So we take them down. In addition to that, on our app and platforms, I mean, we've deployed anti-fraud, I mean, functionalities. This system to enable secret password to validate and confirm your identity anytime you want to fund or do transaction with us. And we're also able to identify unusual behaviors. I mean, if your daily transaction is 1 million, if something goes wrong and somebody tries to do a 10 million, of course, that's a trigger. So we do like a second level check, and then we'll confirm that this information actually comes from it. But in the event, I mean, just at all, just maybe you feel that your account has been compromised, on our mobile app, on our pension app, on our mutual fund app, you have the options to, I mean, block your account. I mean, you can do that also by, I mean, using a USS, that is star 9 hash. I mean, you follow the prompts, and you can freeze your account, you can block your cards, you can do all this. I mean, just to provide the comfort required, I mean, to transact safely with us online. Thank you, Mr. K. And
what happens if a customer gets scammed and is trying to maybe recover his money? Do you think it's possible? What steps can they do to ensure that they do that, or they get their money back?
Yes, I mean, everything we do is centered around our customers, and we are in business because of the customers, actually. If a customer gets defrauded online, the first thing to do is report. And we have various channels that you can, I mean, report this incident. You can call our contact center on our contact center numbers. You can, I mean, send emails to our email contact us email addresses, and from there we'll, I mean, do the investigation. We'll investigate this, and the outcome of the investigation actually will inform the next steps. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abayomi. Thank you so much. Now I'll be moving to the questions from the audience. And the first question I have is, please, how do we remember all our unique passwords for various platforms if we don't save them on our device?
That's risky. That's fine. But the truth is, don't even try to save password on your device. I mean, the device, everybody knows that device right now is, it has a lot of information, is a target of cyber criminals, because they try to target, because you know, if they get a hold of your device, um, they're able to launch more, I mean, elevated attacks against you, and maybe get more information from you. So I mean, a simple way is, there are things like password manager. Yeah, it's a trusted password manager. It encrypts the passwords, and you can use them across your apps. And another way, maybe for me, you can just create something that you can remember. I mean, I love Stanbic IBTC. The O can be O, the E can be three. Then I love Stanbic IBTC at one. I mean, so it just creates, I mean, something that you will, and makes it long. I mean, 12 characters. It's important to make it, but something that you can remember, not your date of birth, not your wedding anniversary, not your
One's name, your
yeah,
children's
not your
name.
son's name, like you mentioned earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
that's
thank
it.
you for that. So yes, use a password manager if you have too many unique passwords and you just want to keep them in a safe space. Now, the second question I have is it safe to allow my web browser save my password? That is such an interesting question. I like this question. Is it safe to allow my Chrome browser, for example, save all my passwords in one place?
The answer to that is no. Don't allow your browser save your password, because you know, if that browser get compromised, I mean, and what they do, you can, it can easily be gotten. So if I get to hold your break to your system, if you save all your, you don't want to keep typing each and every time. I want to log into Facebook, I type. I want to log into my mobile banking platform, I now say save password. Yeah, if that system get compromised, if somebody gains access to that system, of course, it doesn't need to do anything. It just needs to remember password and log in. So I mean, please, the simple answer to that is no. Do not
Yeah,
save your password with your browsers.
I completely agree with that. I completely agree. Now, speaking of, I think we've touched on web, but we've not touched on emails. Now, I think there are a couple of email scams that a lot of people go through. So, what are the red flags that we need to look out for when it comes to email scams, right? Especially when people, especially with hackers that actually try to clone the bank's email look and everything.
Yes, those are social engineering attacks, and I mean, call phishing, target emails, and there's what they call spear phishing as well. That is, it will target you directly. But one thing to note is, phishing emails are mostly a blast. If it's, so they send to numerous people at the same time. Then it comes hello, you just won a Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is in its anniversary. You have 10 credits. How would they give you 10 credits? Do not click. Click here to claim your price.
Yeah,
You just, I mean, we are doing a promo. You've gotten an iPhone, or you did not apply for visa. They sent you a link that you've gotten visa. Ow. So do not click those things. Yeah. I mean, somebody sent me one recently, and it was also around okay, this was even a text message that I have this COVID-19 funds, and obviously I just smiled like, when did I apply for COVID-19 fund? Call Mr. Bello on 00. I smiled. I mean, so these are things that we should not fall victim. I mean, we should not, I mean, fall prey of them. We should, I mean, and also we notice that most of these emails do not come, they have spelling mistakes. You will see spelling mistakes. They are not properly crafted. A corporate organization like ours will not send you an email and you see blunders in those, I mean, in the grammatic, in the typos. It will also not most of the time they don't do come personalized. They say hello. If I want to send you an email, I know you, I say hello, Miss Techie.
Yes.
I've created some kind of, yeah, I will not
Mm-hmm.
just say dear, you have
Mm.
done that. So you see, that's why personalizations are very important. Then on the header of emails, like when you see, sometimes they are clones, like you mentioned, like they will clone, it could be at this1.com, but they will put like an hyphen for you that
Yeah.
you probably not notice. So if you look at the headers of those emails, you just over your cursor on those body of the emails, you will see that it's gonna redirect you to something different entirely
Mm.
from what you are saying. So they've embedded it, they've masked it behind it. So just pay those little due diligence and attention, and
Yeah.
trust me, I mean, it's easy to spot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abayomi. I think that's because of our time. That's all the questions I'll be taking for now. But yeah, you can follow the conversation. You can ask us any question at any time on all social media platforms. So Stanbic IBTC social media platform. You can send them a DM or tweet at them in case you want to find out more information about this topic. But yeah, with that said, I'll be having our closing remark, and it's actually from Mr. Kende Giwa. He is the Technology Security Operations at Stanbic IBTC Bank. So, Mr. Kende Giwa, please take the stage.
Thanks for having me, Ms. Taki, and I mean, Abayomi. Thanks for that very insightful session. So, good days, ladies and gentlemen, and I mean, well, I appreciate you for attending this virtual event on cybersecurity. We're pleased, and on behalf of the staff and management of Stanbic IBTC Holding, we say a very big thank you to all. In recent years, the increasing activities on the internet have become prone to malicious attacks from cyber criminals and fraudulent activities. Studies have shown that consciousness and action towards securing data online is one way to defend against the fraudulent individuals. So the need to secure online while transact or be remain secure online while we transact business is a necessity. So that's one of the reasons we've put up this session together so that we can enlighten our customer on the protection of the details and sensitive data from cyber threats. So as an organization that is technology driven, we have taken it upon ourselves to ensure that we continue to upgrade our online platform to protect our customers against all sorts of unauthorized access to their information. And we do hope that the attendees gain some knowledge on how to protect themselves in our hyper-connected world. As already mentioned, please, everyone needs to employ vigilance and tact when we interact online. And as Stanbic IBTC, safety is our watchword. And we can assure our customer and client that cybersecurity is of high importance to us, hence this webinar session. So we hope this event has steered many individuals to be cautious when conducting online interaction. Once again, we say thank you to everyone for attending. Thanks, Ms. Teki, for having me.
Thank you, Mr. Kende, and thank you so much to everyone for spending your time with us on this rainy afternoon. I hope that you have been able to gain one or two information to help you stay safe online. Personally, I have. But yeah, thank you so much, Stanbic IBTC, for creating this platform. And thank you to everyone once again for joining us. To have a lovely day ahead. Bye.